Hola, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. It's January 17th at the time of this video. Just want to do a follow-up on my HEX conference brief talk about one of the things I mentioned in there was called Pumpamentals perspective. So I just want to do a quick follow-up on that more in visual form with a little spreadsheet here just to go through what I was talking about quickly and how things have changed. Things have changed in the fact that HEX has dropped in price while a lot of other altcoins out there have increased in price. Bitcoin's kind of held the line a bit as a lot of these other big alts have run, even small alts as well. But I'd rather focus on some of the big alts since they're names that I've been following. I do like them. But again, this is Pumpamentals perspective to try to keep our HEX eyes on the prize, if you will. So the first one I want to look at is Bitcoin. So what I did here was I took a snapshot of the current prices. So the current price of Bitcoin, time of the snapshot was 36,267. And from there, I went out and I did two estimates, much like I did in the HEX conference conversation. The cycle's conservative target, I think many can agree that 100,000 is kind of like a big round number that many influencers and pundits have brought up as a possible target for Bitcoin. The cycle's moon target is a number quite greater, and I've heard 250,000 tossed about this cycle for Bitcoin. Seems rather bullish, but anything is possible, especially with all the institutional money that's now coming into it and more retail awareness. So if we're talking this $100,000 target and we're at 36,267, how many X's would it take? Well, it only take 2.76x to get there. Okay. Well, what if we go for the moon target of $250,000? Even from there, it's less than a 7x. So let's just keep that in mind as we go through some of these names. Next up, we'll look at Ethereum. So current price at the time of the snapshot recently was $1,251. $1,251. So I've seen price targets conservatively, if you can even use that word with a price target this large, of $5,000. So from here, it's about a 4x. Large number, but in terms of, X's, it's only 4. Cycle's moon target. Now I've definitely heard quite a few times that 20,000 is kind of like a dream scenario this cycle for ETH. That's still right around a 16x. I mean, any traditional finance person would take a 16x over the course of years and years and years. But this 16x is just for this cycle. Maybe we have a year left, maybe a couple of years. Maybe the cycles are lengthening as some have postulated. All right, now we have Polkadot. So Polkadot's already been on a run. It was between, I'd say, $4 and $5 for a while, and then around $6, and then just went on a ripper. I mean, it just went straight up to 15, it felt like. It's about 17 right now. So I've heard conservative estimates of $100 this cycle. So we'd have a 5.85x. I mean, in crypto, that's not much, right? Cycle's moon target, 200x. So we'll just double the 100x. That'd be less than a 12x from here. Great returns in any markets. Crypto, cool, but not what some other things could do. Chainlink, another one I like. Current price is $22.73 at time of snapshot. So conservative price target, I've heard targets all over the map for this. I'm trying to get the mean, if it's even possible, of these conservative and moon targets. So conservative target of $100. That's a 4.4x from here. Cycle's moon target, I've heard 500. I've heard 400, 200. I've heard more than 500. I kind of just went for 500 because it's the middle moon, if you will, that I've heard. That's a 22x from here. All right. Last one, Aave. So Aave's just been on an incredible run. It's 6x, I think, in a matter of months. So it currently stands as a little above 190. I've seen conservative targets a cycle for $500, and that'd be a 2.62x from here. I've also seen moon targets for $2,000. Now that sounds huge, right? For something that's still less than $200. But perspective, it's only a 10.5x. So let's look at the reason we're here. So HEX, current price is around 0.8 of a penny. So on my year in review show with Hexologist and Big Kurkowski, Funding Jim, Johnny Chaos, Timothy Benjamin was there, I believe. We all had a little round of fun there before the end and went for price targets for the end of, say, this year. So I'll just use that as my cycle conservative target. So I said 12.5 cents. So from the current 0.8 of a penny that we're at right now, that's a 15.6x. That's awesome, right? So if you go back, LinkedIn's moon target had a 22x. But aside from Ethereum's moon target of around a 15x, that's one of the best performers, and that's a conservative target, or one of the best estimates, I should say, not performers. All right, so I had an extra column here, the cycle's design target for HEX. So HEX was designed to do the equivalent of 56 cents. Cycle would go into start mid next year or so. To get there, it would be around a 70x. That blows any of these out of the water. And that is just one, by design. It was designed to do the 56 cents. And two, you're not counting any interest in that. So if you're staked, you're earning on top of any price gains that come. Lastly, the fun one, and some would even call this conservative. So I just put a dollar target in here for HEX for this cycle. Charts have been thrown around out there. I'm sure you've seen a few different iterations, but some have, say, $1. Some have $10, maybe end of this year, sometime next year. And then they go all the way out to maybe a couple of years. They're $100 targets. Seems dreamy, seems moon math to me. Love to see it happen. No complaints if it does. But let's be very conservative. And even though it almost sounds silly to say, conservative with $1 target this cycle. That would be 125x for HEX from here. So what we have is Bitcoin has seen its run. We've had alts in recent days, Ethereum, Polkadot, Link, Aave, just going on these incredible runs. So a lot of the percentage move has already happened in the grand scheme of things. Also, I took these targets from their current prices. So these targets, these moon targets, are from their current prices, but also keep in mind that they've moved a lot. HEX has not. And there could be various reasons for that. I think the main one right now is that liquidity has been removed, a lot of it from Uniswap, and some bidding pressure may be going on over at 1inch. And maybe some whales behind the scenes there are in accumulation mode. I have a whole theory about that, which I discussed in the last happy hour. with crypto events and Richie Rich. But if any part of that starts to come together, and it could be happening right now, this could be one of the biggest gifts right here for HEX that you will see at 0.8 of a penny currently. Again, price has gone down in HEX. Price and everything else has gone up. HEX has a lot more room for all those X's. And again, just conservatively, I have a target of 12.5 cents, just the end of this year. That's a 15x. It's pretty much as good or better than most of these moon math targets in this sheet, with the exception of Link. The cycle's design target of 56 cents. That 70x blows anything on the spreadsheet out of the water. And from there, it just goes up, up, and up, and up. So the cycle's moon target, even some say conservatively, at $1 would be 125x. So just a quick look at some math, how it's changed over the past 10 days or so since I gave that brief chat at the HEX conference. Things have moved in Hexkin's favor in my mind. I know the price has dipped, but if you're holding some of these others, if you're sitting on huge gains and you're got a little FOMO that your HEX opportunities are dwindling, might not be a bad idea to take one more look at HEX, because in my opinion, once the train leaves the station, it's not coming back. And my opinion, if there is some serious accumulation going on at these prices, at a penny, under a penny, once it goes back over, I don't think anybody's going to be able to catch it. So it's definitely an exciting year to be a Hexkin. Last year was amazing. I think this year could even top it. It's my absolute #1 coin pick. And I think time's ticking down to where this cheap HEX could very well never be seen again, especially if it breaks a penny. And the recent all-time high of around 2 pennies, it breaks that. In my opinion, it's off to one of these moon targets. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Again, just a quick video spelling out a little Pumpamentals perspective. Hope everybody's doing great out there. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, mainly on YouTube and Twitch right now. And look forward to hopefully doing definitely more happy hours, joining in wherever I can on some other videos as well. Looking forward to chatting with everybody, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.